Welcome to Tuttle Talk on 1190 AM. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Andy Tuttle.
And we're back! Thank you, Dallas. I don't know why you don't think that's not going to happen every week. It is. You're listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. That was a good one. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Listen on your iHeartRadio app, guys. You can also call me at 214-736-9696. Anything that's already talked about on the show, anything coming up, and you can catch all shows at andytuttle.com. I'm talking with two great agents today. Excuse me, I try to do that almost every week. Talk to good quality agents in the DFW Metroplex. Today is no different. Travis Duane, who is a realtor over at RE/MAX. He's been in the business for 7 years. He's in the Flower Mound and surrounding areas. And he's actually worked with some of the top real estate teams in his time and is a big believer in the team concept. And he's worked on big teams because he understands you got to go through a lot of transaction, work with a lot of clients to understand and accelerate your learning. And it gives him a unique view of the market and the whole process, the whole home purchasing process. So, Travis, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, man, you sound great on the old mic there. Nice work, Travis.
Thanks again.
Hey. Dr. Ara Minassian is a broker at Star Realty. Now, he's been in the real estate business for 12 years, but he started out as an investor, which gives him another unique perspective. So I like having both of you here. I think he speaks 3 languages. And right. Yeah, that's right. And he's actually a doctor of real estate. No, I'm kidding, but he is a doctor. And we're really glad you're here, Dr. Ara. Thank you. Yeah, you're an MD. Thank you so much, Dr. Ara, for being here. Okay, Travis, now I know you have a daughter?
I do, an 8-year-old, yeah.
You have an 8-year-old. A girl, right?
Yeah, she's a hot mess.
Yeah, that's awesome. How is it having a little 8-year-old running around?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. In fact, she went to one of those little plays. They do these plays every year for the grades, you know, and we just did this one. She had a speaking part, so she was pretty nervous about it. And like me, she's not real shy. So this girl, she's supposed to have another speaking part, and she clams up at the last second. And she goes running off stage, throws my daughter the microphone. My daughter picks up the microphone, does the girl's part like it was no big deal.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
That is good. Did you tell her that her dad is now going to have a speaking part on a radio show?
I told her I was coming. We'll see how it goes. She's like, don't screw it up, Dad.
Don't drop the mic. Don't drop the mic.
Can I even say that on the
Yes, you can. You can.
Okay.
You can also say that you created something else that's not real estate related, but I love so much here, are sunglasses with a bottle opener on them. Tell us what prompted you. I'm going to put these on, by the way. What prompted you to make these?
They look pretty sharp on you.
Thanks. Take a picture of this. Go ahead. What prompted you to create this?
So somebody tossed me a beer in the pool one day, and there were some flip-flops that have the opener on them. Reef makes them, and it's been big. They've done really well with it for going on 8-9 years. So anyway, somebody tossed me a beer in the pool, and I had some sunglasses on. Thought, hey, this would be a great idea, and here we have it. This is our first year of production.
And you've sold how many of these?
We're going on pushing almost 1 million units sold now.
I'm telling you, this is great Shark Tank material.
I like the idea better of something from your head opening something that goes to your mouth rather than something from your foot going towards something
that's an MD speaking right there.
It doesn't take a doctor to figure that out.
But it helps to have the credibility. You've heard it here. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Tuttle Talk. We're talking to Dr. Ara Minassian and to Travis Duane, two realtors really in the Northwest Corridor area, right? Both of you kind of serve up in
Flower Mound area.
Flower Mound, and I guess we also Frisco and Plano, South Lake, all that area.
We cover whatever area our clients need.
We're working the same hood, brothers from a different mother.
I love that. I say that all the time. People go, why do you say this? Well, one of the purposes of this show is to give home buyers and home sellers tips about purchasing or selling their home. And so, Travis, I have a question for you first off is, in talking about this, you believe there are 4 real main reasons that a home will or will not sell.
Sure, absolutely. Price, condition, location, and marketing. It's not rocket science, and it's funny right now. Our market, we're down 35% in inventory, so there's nothing on the marketplace, and it seems like the things that are out there either overpriced or they're in a bad location or something's wrong with the condition or they're just not being marketed. I mean, there's roughly 2,500 homes on the market that don't even have pictures. I mean, it's crazy.
That is crazy. Why would you? I don't even understand. How can you market in this market without pictures?
realtors do it every day. It's funny. There's a lot of part-time agents out there. There's a lot of people that don't do this full-time, don't take it seriously, and
Don't have a working camera.
This is true, yeah, or just can't work the camera they have.
Dr. R, is that a bad sign? If your agent doesn't have a working camera, you should probably run to some agent that does.
Reconsider. Maybe make them show you the camera before you sign the listing agreement.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
a
true.
good idea.
In fact, I'm going to start asking. I'm going to put that in my listing agreement from now on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Have a working camera. So, Dr. Ara, on your side of things, I know you have a little different perspective too, because your roots come from investing. What got you into that?
Well, I was big into the stock market for a while, and as I'm sure everyone's faced, you have somebody else managing your money. Basically, you pick where you want it to go, but it comes down to the CEO making decisions. And if they commit fraud, well, guess what? That stock's not going to do very well, and it's going to tank before you have a chance to react or do anything about it, or it might get locked up. And I got tired of other people losing my money.
Right.
I figured if I'm going to do something with my money and it's going to get lost, I'd rather it be my fault than because somebody did something fraudulent. So I thought, what do I have control of? And there's nothing you control more than your own domain, your own land. It's yours. No one can mess with you.
It's very smart. Like it's what do they call it. I've called it this too.
Master of your own domain.
Yeah, that's right. And houses are kind of like you could say this, a 401k with a driveway. I've heard that said before. It's your own retirement plan, and I know you have a plan to own a lot of properties yourself.
Yeah, my goal is 100 houses before I retire.
Very smart. And you've got a secured retirement there, and it's diversified. Now it's all in real estate, but different homes, different locations.
Exactly.
You are able to manage that and make that work. So you, for sellers, bring a different perspective because of, I think, that background to sellers when they can't sell their home. What other options do sellers have in your view?
Well, it's not necessarily you can't. You might not want to sell, too.
Good point.
You might consider other options than selling a home, especially in a market like this, where some people buy into the misinformation that it might be hard to buy a house, because I believe that is misinformation. If you have all your documents, you can get a mortgage, you can get your house. But a lot of people actually believe that, and so they turn to renting. And so that's made this great rental market that we've got. Well, for those who are willing to look into that, you've got a couple options on how you can do it, but you can own your rental. You can turn your home into a rental, which not only helps you make more money, but is setting yourself up for a good retirement plan. It's setting you up for the next house that you buy. Because if you've got your current house rented, that takes those numbers off the books. I mean, there's a way to do it. You got to talk to a smart mortgage person to help you along the way, and a good realtor to help you along the way.
100%. You got to have the whole team there because, like we said, there's so many people that work on it. And I love that you say that because you do have to do a little more paperwork. But if you do it, it's worth it. Get into a home. There's no reason that you can't. I want to go real quick to what John Allen asked earlier, or talked about our insurance guy about too many claims. Has that happened to you before?
Oh, yeah.
It's something that always comes up, absolutely.
So, Travis, what do you think about that? Should they do that offline and just say pay for it, or what do you recommend when that happens?
Sometimes they get stuck and they have to. Otherwise, they're going to pay for it during the negotiation process with the buyer, or usually it's the buyer.
It's just like the lesser of two evils. Something's going to happen. Sometimes you just have no choice. You just got to know that and prepare your buyer for that.
Sure.
Right. Well, it also comes down to us as realtors planning ahead, looking into those things. If we find an issue, we got to attack it head on and say, hey, look, the roof needs to be replaced. You need to make claim. You need to do it fast. You also, that's another thing that makes it real important to have a good insurance agent, because a good insurance agent can push those deals along a little bit faster. I mean, it takes time.
Right.
But if he's got the time to get it done, he can work for you and get it done in time.
And what I hear with that is, and it's so smart that you guys have that kind of proactive approach. Yes, if you're getting with an agent that doesn't know what they're doing, then guess what? You're not going to find out about it until the buyer comes and makes an offer on the property. But if you're a good agent, then you're going to tell them that up front. It's like, why do this? You know this is going to happen. Now you got an extra month or whatever, you get it done, and then it's not an issue. That is a very huge point. Now let's move this conversation to buyers, because we do want to go over some tips for them as well. And if you're just tuning in, we are talking to Dr. Ara and Travis, both great realtors here in the DFW Metroplex. If you want to get in touch with either of them, please call us, 214-736-9696. I want to bring pros to you every week that you can trust, and you can trust to work with on whether you're selling or buying, or I know even looking for a lease in this market. Sometimes we can connect you with good people like that. 214-736-9696. Travis? What are some tips for some buyers to make good informed to make good decisions when they're buying a house?
Well, I think it's interesting now that our market is recovering, since it's been recovering for the last year, in my opinion, that now buyers are making emotional decisions again, and they weren't doing that the last few years. They were just buying on price, and that was the primary objective to what they picked was price. But now they're out there, and there's still a limited amount of inventory, but buyers are out in the works again, and it's becoming a seller's market again, I think. And so now buyers are starting to buy on emotion again, and I think it's important that they realize that they need to make informed decisions. They need to look at numbers still. They need to buy something not based on the condition or their reaction for the house, but see where it's priced, see what's happening in their local market, see how far their shopping centers are from them. I mean, all these things come into play, and it's important for them to make good decisions. That's good.
That's good tips. Art, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, you can get a little bit of smoke screen, and that's another point. Your agent's going to be looking out for you. Listen to your agent. They're going to tell you, hey, yeah, it's a nice looking house. Yeah, it does have the color wall that you wanted, but that can change. The numbers have to make sense. It has to make sense for the area. You don't want to buy yourself into something that's going to be problematic. That's why you have the inspections. That's why you have everything taken a look at. You don't want to fall in love with a loser. So, it's good to love your house, but make sure that you are looking at the numbers. I mean, it's great advice.
I agree with that. And I know also you also take that approach and more of a holistic approach with your clients. It's like you say, don't love a loser, and don't love something that you can't afford.
Right. I mean, you know how you live. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. If you like to take vacations, go out to dinner every night, and see a lot of movies at the theater, that's awesome for you. If that's what you're going to spend your money on, you put that number aside and say, okay, well, I qualify for this much, but I really need a lower mortgage so that I can have that lifestyle.
Right.
You don't want to get yourself into a position where you bought this house that you really love, but now you can't go out, so you start to hate the house. Right. You don't want to be in that kind of scenario. So look at what really works for you, what your life is about, what's important to you in life. Make the house fit.
That's very good. We always say this, hey, we can pre-approve you for, let's say it's $300,000 home just like everybody else, but based on your lifestyle, based on your lack of reserves or your reserves, your emergency funds, what you have in life insurance, all those factors, how you live, we suggest that we recommend $250,000. And sometimes that happens because we want you to be in the home and enjoy it, not be house rich and cash poor. Mm-hmm. That's such a dangerous thing. Now, I want to get real quick here in our a couple of minutes left that we have, that to our, every week, want to bring you this, a real steal of the week. And Dr. Ara, you have that for us, don't you?
Yes, we got a listing in Lantana, which, as you mentioned, location is excellent. It's right there near the Shops of Highland Village. It's 8681 Weston. We've got it listed at $274,900, which is a really nice price. We reduced it recently. 3,100 square foot house, 5-bedroom, 3-bath. If you know Lantana, there are a lot of amenities you can really enjoy. There's so much growth in that area. Take a look at it.
I love that. That's good. Thank you. That is 274, 3,100 square feet in Lantana. That is a fantastic steal of the week. Thank you so much for bringing it. If you want to get a hold of that listing, call us at 214-736-9696. And Travis, one final question for you. I know a lot of people think that, and really for both of you, very quickly, I know that a lot of realtors think they're competition for each other, but you guys don't see it that way, do you?
No, we don't at all. In fact, we were talking about this earlier, and that it's interesting that we come from completely different backgrounds. The doctor versus Travis. And
it's not versus. It's not versus.
It's a common goal in the end. And one thing we were talking about is from a seller or a buyer's agent perspective, when you get an offer and it's just completely absurd, one way or the other, it's finding the common ground, because at the end of the day, the buyer's interested, the seller's interested, and it's what the seller's willing to part for, what the buyer's willing to come up to. And
that's right.
If it makes sense at the end of the day, sometimes the buyer and seller can't figure that out because they have too much emotion involved, and they need our help. They need us to guide them and to come together. And, granted, we may be completely different, but
we might start off a little bit different, and not every agent can serve every client. And so it's good that there's a good variety of us. There's good that we represent different companies. The key you're going to look for is that the agents understand each other, understand what needs to be done. Make it a win-win situation for everyone.
That's exactly right. And I'm glad you got to have a team, guys. You hear it here. Don't It's not a competition. Don't let them battle. This is great connections. Work with realtors that understand that want to be a team player. It's all about you in this, and I don't think it's all about you in everything in life, but it is all about you when it comes to home ownership. You're the reason we're here. It's the reason we all have jobs is to take care of you. Make sure you deal with someone that understands that and can make it a memorable and enjoyable experience for you. Guys, great information. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now it's time for the Coach's Corner with Coach Jimmy Nelson. Every week, I want to bring you guys some important facts. We always talk about financial fitness, financial health. We talk about the real estate market and what's going on, and it's so important. Benjamin Franklin says, if your health is better, everything else is better. If your health is good, everything else is better. And that's why we have Coach Jimmy on here every week. Jimmy, thanks so much for being with us.
Always a pleasure, Andy. Thank you for having me.
You bet, buddy. Every week, glad to do it. Hey, you've helped me lose 17 pounds doing your stuff, so I appreciate what you do for us and what you do for all your thousands of fans on Facebook that you help every single day. So what is your tip of the week this week?
Today we're talking about motivation, and I hear about it every day, Andy, that people tell me, Jimmy, I want to lose weight. I want to get active. I want to eat better if I was only motivated. And that always used to confuse me because it was the act of motivation is a reason to act in a certain way. So what I have for your listeners are 3 simple steps to get motivated to exercise, right? So 3 simple steps to get motivated to exercise, and we're going to go right through them real quick. Number 1.
Wait, I got to take notes. Hold on, I got to take notes.
Okay, you're taking notes. You got the pad out?
I got it. I'm ready.
Okay. Number 1 for your motivation to exercise is you need to identify your specific why. So a lot of times people say, well, I just want to lose weight or I just want to tone up. And that's a great place to start. But guys, listen to me. If nothing is dynamic until it's specific. So we need to get some very specific goals. If you want to lose 20 pounds, why do you want to lose those 20 pounds? Is it so you have more energy to spend more time with your kids? Is it so you have more confidence to maybe get back out in the dating scene? If you can put a why next to the I want to lose 25 pounds, the more specific you can get with that, the better your chances are that you're going to get started. Number 2, you still taking notes? You got number 2
I'm
down?
taking notes, but first I want to say, just real quick, you guys, these tips, you want to listen to these because this is from a guy who lost 100 pounds. Jimmy lost 100 pounds with these exact same tips and following this philosophy. So this is great stuff. I got specific, and that's why I'm losing weight, and I love that. And mine is so I can, look good for the lady, for my wife. You know what I mean? I want to do that, and because I also want to be healthy and fit into my nice shirt, which I'm actually, it's a little tight today. I got to be honest. I still got to work on this. So give me the next 2 tips so we can figure out.
Number 2, share your goal with someone. This is something Andy and I have actually done on a personal basis. Share that goal with someone. Now, for some of you, this can be a really intimidating step, especially for us guys. It's not real easy for us to share with another buddy, hey, dude, okay, I'm going to try to lose this beer gut, and I want to try to do these things. But be picky with who you share your goal with. You want somebody that's going to be supportive. You want somebody that's going to hold you to what you said you're going to do, and somebody that's going to build you up, speak some life into you and say, man, you can do this. It's even better if you find somebody that wants to jump in it with you because support is such a key into getting active. Maybe that's finding a buddy at work that'll work out with you at your lunch break or after work or before work. But having that support is key. So that's number 2.
Great stuff.
Okay, number 3, take action when things aren't perfect. You heard Andy say before that I've lost over 100 pounds. Now, guys, I hate to break it to you. I'm going to tell you a little secret. This is just between me and you. Don't tell anybody else. But life will never stop, so you can finally get started on that exercise program. Things aren't going to stop. Your life's not going to get any less crazy. Everything's not going to go on hold. The bill collectors aren't going to stop or the meetings aren't going to come in. You've just got to start in your imperfect world right now and try to find little ways to get started now. Maybe it is that 5-minute walk. Maybe it's brown bagging the lunch to work so you're not tempted by the pizza party or the birthday party there at the job. So just take action right where you are. It may not be perfect. You may know, hey, I have these Christmas parties and holiday parties coming up soon, so I'll wait till after all of those. No. Start now and just work your way through all those kind of pitfall things that probably are going to happen to all of us. So those are your 3 steps, guys. Identify your specific why, share your goal with somebody, and take action when things aren't perfect.
I love that. One of the last part, you reminded me of a Zig Ziglar quote that says, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And that's the biggest thing. It's the little decisions that make such a big difference over time. So don't be discouraged. What do they say? How do you eat the 800-pound elephant or whatever? You one bite at a time?
one bite at a time. You got to take that first bite, no matter how small a nibble that is. You got to take the action and take that first bite.
Well, speaking of nibbles, Jimmy, wait a second. Speaking of bites, speaking of small bites, small nibbles, I have been begging you to do something so that my listeners can take advantage and get started on this and get going on something with a no barrier of entry opportunity. So do you have something for us?
Yes, you continue to ask. And so just for your listeners, I thought the Tuttle Talk community.
Come on, make it good, man. Make it good.
Needs something sweet. So we have something fantastic. So we know no matter how much you're trying to work on eating really healthy, all of us have holes in our nutrition, some of us bigger holes than others. So what I've done is we have our top-of-the-line, best-selling Activit Multivitamin that's going to help people's bone strength, immunity, help them with their aging, with antioxidants, regulate their calcium, their blood sugar levels. It's top of the line. Your multivitamins out there are different ranks and files. This isn't the cheap multivitamin that you're going to find maybe at your convenience store. This stuff's top of the line, and it's one of our best sellers. But for you and your listeners, we're giving it to them for free. All they got to do is pay $4.95 shipping and handling, and they get 30 days worth of this to kind of plug in those holes that they may have because of some places in our nutrition where we're not going to eat perfect all the time.
Well,
so
man,
just for your listeners, man.
Well, buddy, that's huge. Thank you so much. Wait a second, because I pay like $30 or something a month for my pills, so I can get that for. I don't even get these, which I should. I'm going to get them now. That's free and it's $4.95. I'm doing that. Put that on my site. Yeah. Would you put it on the fan page?
Absolutely. They can go to your fan page, the Tuttle Talk Facebook fan page.
Okay.
And we're going to put the link right there, and everybody can have access to it.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Guys, take advantage of that. That's free. I'm going to do it. That is so easy. You got to do it. Take the start. Take vitamins. I got to tell you, that really does help with the sicknesses, especially this time of year. You got to get your immune system up and higher and start the process, and this is a great entry to doing that. So thank you so much, Jimmy, for being here and for offering that for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
Take care.
Okay, you're listening to Tuttle Talk. I hope you've enjoyed the hour. We are out of time as usual with me going over. Danny's going to kill me. Production director is going to kill me. If you want to get a hold of us, call me at 214-736-9696 or email me at questions@andytuttle.com. We'll get you connected with any of the guests on this show today. Don't forget to get your boots on. We wear them the first Friday of every month. Support our troops. Support the military. Go to bootcampaign.com. And don't forget to go to yourmortgagereview.com. Take a few minutes. Find out if you can save some money on a no-cost loan. They're out there. Yourmortgagereview.com. Take the time. It's a great investment. You'll be glad you did. And don't forget, text Andy T to 72727 to enter to win an iPad. If you'd like to discuss anything related to the show, again, you contact me directly, and you can join us next week for more great real estate news. I'm actually going to have an author about how to quit your job. What? That's right. I quit. Working for you is not working for me. The author of that book's going to be here next week. We're going to talk a very interesting book. You'll want to hear that. I'd like to thank Randy Nichols, John Allen, Dr. Ara, Travis for being here. And as always, thank you, Danny Miles, our production director, and the entire family here at KFXR. That's it for today. Race Talk is coming up next. This is Andy Tuttle for the Real Estate Radio Network. Thank you for listening to Tuttle Talk, where we're making financial intelligence a priority in our community. Talk to you next Saturday. Have a great weekend.